second big time, I think, in the history of Nuggets drafts, having been around. You can talk about David Thompson, but they didn't draft him. Right. They actually drafted a guy who was called the Human Eraser, who erased
Marvin
himself.
Webster?
Yeah, who erased,
So you're thinking of Carmelo?
Carmelo.
In 2003.
Of all the drafts I've ever been with, that was the best fall to their position that I've seen. We know what Carmelo's done and proven himself, so I would say we hope this is a great Carmelo-like situation, only he turns to be a guy who wants to stay here for 10 years and actually becomes better than Carmelo Anthony.
I'll tell you what I like about this kid. We were at the news conference this morning when Mudiay was introduced to the media. He looks like a man, he sounds like a man, and we've all seen tape. He plays like a man.
Yeah.
You get that impression too?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this guy, he flat out won the press conference. There's no doubt about it. You know, just very mature for his age. And listen, you know, his upbringing, how could you not be? You know, what he's had to go through to get here, to be at this point here, at this point in time, has just been, it's been amazing. And
growing up in Zaire, it was then called Zaire, and losing his father right away, his mother taking control of the household and providing. Yeah. Then they made that move from a really catastrophic type kind of situation to the United States, trying to learn the language, trying to reinvest themselves, his mother getting a job supporting the family. Then he goes to maybe three different schools in a period of 4 or 5 years, and a couple of those were prep academies. Then what was happening in regard to the money being offered, and then going to China. And listening to him, and I had listened to interviews with him when he was over there before a playoff game, and also the Lakers. I thought he was even stronger today. That you can tell that year in China, I believe, really did make you grow up. I think when you spend a year abroad like that in a place where you can't speak the language,
and then not to leave, right?
Yeah, he stayed after he got injured, where a lot of guys, well, J.R. Smith, didn't he?
Yes.
He got hurt, he left.
Yeah.
Bailed out, not Mudiay. He stayed and actually played in a game or two at the end of the season.
In the playoffs.
And that showed a lot about his character as well. Is this guy a franchise player? Is he a franchise-changing player?
I'm going to just stop just short of saying that right now. I think he is definitely a guy who can be a core guy. You know, I think if you're a franchise player, you're talking about building around this individual. And while I think maybe he does have that potential, I just don't know. I'm not ready to say he's there just quite yet. I would have been more ready to say that about Carmelo Anthony than I am about Emmanuel Mudiay. I think he can get there. I just can't go quite that far just yet.
Yep, similar ages.
Yeah.
Carmelo had led Syracuse to a national championship.
Came out at 19.
He grew up in difficult conditions in Baltimore. You were talking about it the other day. If you look at some of the documentaries of what Baltimore was like during that time, so he had his own issues that he dealt with. It was just as soon as he had been here 3 or 4 years. I compared his stats. Let me tell you his stats first year. 21 points a game. He had 5 rebounds and nebulous assists, like 1.2 or something. If you could get that out of Mudiay the first year, I think you'd be pleased with him. You'd think he could be
the rookie
franchise.
of the year.
But they've already
a few more assists.
So
the points
I
would
would
be
just
nice.
add there is a national website that I believe in, one of the top 4 or 5, and they picked their all rookie team already, and he's on it with Russell. And you talk about the 3 guys up front that you would probably pick. They actually, I think, put Hazonia on it, along with Okafor and Towns. So if that were to project out, he'd be in the running for Rookie of the Year in the NBA.
First segment brought to you by the Harmony Foundation, Colorado's premier treatment program for drug and alcohol addiction. It's located just outside of Estes Park. They've got a very nice 45-acre mountain campus. They are insurance friendly, so visit harmonyfoundationinc.com.